It seems that a life-changing event can catapult us into some of the best work that we've ever done. It can put us into a state of self-discovery that we may not have been able to achieve had that event not happened. We're human, and all of us at some point or another are going to experience death or loss. How do we channel that? How do we triumph? When my friend Allison Adams went through one of these tragic, life-changing events, a very surprising thing happened. She expressed and shared parts of herself that were so personal but so beautiful. I went to visit Allison at her home in San Clemente. I spent the day with her and we just chatted about how her work has evolved, where her inspirations came from, and where they're taking her now. How did the journey change when you lost Vernon?
I was so annoyed that he died. I was so annoyed that after all of that hard work that we did to keep him alive, he still died. And that's when I'm like, the only thing that kept me sane during the journey was doing artwork, so I guess I'll just keep sticking with that because that was one faithful part of my life.
Well, but that's one of the things that I really admire about you, that you channeled all of your emotion into your work. As artists, we strive for authenticity. Often art imitates life, and so it becomes the responsibility of the artist to bring a great deal of themselves. That means sharing our feelings and our emotions and our viewpoints on the experiences of just navigating through life. But what happens when you encounter an event in your life that is traumatic? Maybe so much so that it could potentially block you from your creativity. So when you went through your whole experience of losing Vernon, even though it was like the most traumatic part of your life, did you feel like it was the most fertile part of your life as an artist?
I feel like right now I'm living in the most fertile time of my life as an artist. But it kind of became a creative journey. And I wrote a lot. Every day I would write in my blog. I was like bored to death. Because he's like, sometimes he's just in a coma. He was in a coma for like 3 months. So I just bring my phone or my camera and I would take pictures. I'd walk down the hallway. I'd try to find artistic shots in the hospital. And I'd be like, okay, I'm posting this on my blog. And then I had something sort of interesting and beautiful to me or funny to share. Or I hear somebody's story and I try to like write notes or try to remember just to like make it about other things. It's a window into a life that people don't see, so it might be interesting for people to read about. And so I try to like spend time writing, and it kind of kept my process like up to date.
Yeah. But the fact that you even had the presence of mind to do that is what I think is amazing. The way in which she navigated through that tragedy was so inspiring to me that in fact I actually mentioned her in my very first vlog. She was one of my inspirations. Whatever I had to share on social media, I wanted it to create a sense of sharing and community, and I wanted it to have a positive effect. Where did the idea of actually blogging through that journey come from?
I didn't plan to share that much. I think I thought he was going to get better, and I thought, you know what, he's not going to remember any of this. I should write some things down, and plus we had people that wanted to pray and give and care, and I couldn't answer everybody's questions because I was so overwhelmed. So it became sort of a way to just sort of share what was going on at first, and I wasn't even going to write. After a few days, I kind of wrote out, and I realized I kind of enjoyed having a say in it. It wasn't any intention to like write for that long every day, and then they became more and more elaborate, and I'd add songs. songs and
Yeah, but they also had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Each blog was a theme, like what whatever struck you that day, whatever you experienced, or whatever Vernon experienced. You somehow took it and you didn't just document it like a documentarian. You made it into like a little morality tale. You know?
Thank you. That's how it became more a creative project. Because, like I was saying before, it was too harsh. It was too harsh of a reality not to.
Yeah.
So I just did whatever I felt like doing. But now I realize, now I've given ideas for other people, so maybe they have the permission to do whatever they want, whatever makes them feel good to get through it.
Don't stop sharing who you are with the world. I don't think any artist who shows their vulnerability can go wrong. I actually think that even though the process may be painful, you can't help but win when you share yourself.
It seems to me that as we get older, our work becomes more inclusive. To feel yourself as an artist start to mature in that way where it's like you want to start giving it back.
I feel in this work that I'm doing now more connected to nature. I feel more connected to other human beings than I ever have. That in itself makes me want to give because I don't feel so separate.
We started to collage. Allison has plans to begin classes as a form of therapy and self-help, using art to transform and change. I'm certain that inspiration came from her own experiences.
What's next for you?
Well, collage. Just different for me, and I really find it fun to find ways to help other people tap into their creativity. So that's what we're trying to do here. It's kind of the backbone of everything I've already talked about too. So now I just want to be able to share it with other people instead of just have it be about my process, just to bring play into it. Imagery is so important. Getting what's inside of you outside and learning to just accept what comes out. Recognize that like your energy is your energy.
We were talking a little bit when we were walking around town today about the new idea that you're playing with about the subconscious and water, and a lot of themed paintings with water. So tell me, like, what was the impetus for that?
Yeah, I just been going through this really wonderful awakening to these ideas that, we're so much more than what we think we are. And that's the place that creativity comes from, this other soulful place. I just have found it to be so freeing to tap into that consciously. I mean, I clearly have been tapping into it for a long time, but now I see it as sort of a more of collaboration that I'm actually actively involved in here. It's almost like a friend or something. It's just really powerful, and I feel I'm just trying to learn. I'm trying to teach myself ways that I can teach other people.
But let's talk about groundbreaking girls.
Inspiration for that, I remember happened around Christmas time, New Year's Eve time. The year that Vernon had died, he died a few months before, and we just had this really crazy election process and results of the election, and I sensed that something was going to happen for women. I felt concerned. Concerned about myself. I felt concerned about my daughter. I was living alone. No, now I was like officially on paper alone. And I was like, how am I going to do this? And I felt this pressure. I don't know. All those things, the pressure of the political thing made me concerned. And I thought, I need to tap into these stories of women who have come before, who can teach me how to do this. They had made lives for themselves against the odds. Thought about Eleanor Roosevelt. Then I envisioned, I'll paint a painting of her because I can paint, and then I'll paint a bunch of other people. Maybe I'll put them in the library or something, and I can help educate girls that there's another way, that there's other ways to do. These people have done things before. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, and I was able to, because I'm not really great with conflict. I mean, I can tell you I'm angry at things, but I don't feel really comfortable just getting angry and mad. I always feel like I have to clean that mess up afterwards. So it gave me a way to channel some of that, but put it out as something beautiful. And then it took off, and the next thing I knew I had 200 of them or something.
Of all the women that you've painted, is there one or two that just stand out to you?
Georgia O'Keeffe, I painted her lots of times, and Frida
Oh,
Kahlo.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Those two women, just because they did their own thing completely.
Yeah.
I had a great time spending the day with Allison, exploring the town, walking along the beach, and actually doing some art. I created this. I hope that this vlog has been able to give comfort to some of you who have gone through your own traumatic experiences and give you hope that the best is yet to come, like I believe it is for Allison. Take care, everybody.